Welcome back, everyone, and we are continuing on with our Dungeons of Chaos Achievements playthrough. Now, when we left off, we just defeated the Lich, and we ransacked the top of the tower, so we got the spells and the chest for those achievements. Today, we're going to go after the Ant Queen while we are still in Brescia. So we have pretty much everything up to the Ant Queen and a couple after that. So we have defeat the Lich. We've already slayed pixies, our shadow beasts, and our worms. Vampire is in the first part of chapter 2, so we will get there. Today we are going to venture down the ant colony hole and go after the queen. Now it is quite the trek, and that would make quite a long video, so I'm not going to cut part of it as we walk down there, because it is a fairly straightforward path. But the easiest way to get to the colony is pretty much where I'm standing. If you run up the left side of this coast right here and come to this little corner, it's a straight shot over to the ant colony. And pretty much what we're going to be doing is we're going to let our mage and our druid do the majority of the work here, because they do have a reasonably high level ignite so far because we used it so much. Not great in the way of experience points, but there are so many ants here that it kind of makes up for it. And those warrior ants, they get really tough. They hit pretty hard. Alright. And we are down into the ant colony. Now the great thing about the ant colony is it's huge, and it has a lot of loot skeletons. A lot of it's just kind of mundane stuff, but I mean, if you get every little bit of loot out of the ant colony, you're going to end up with, even if you identify and you just sell all of it, you're going to end up quite a bit of money. So it is worth going through meticulously. And this party is level 11, so I would imagine by the time we get to the Ant Queen, we might actually gain a level. Maybe a little bit more, maybe 2. But most certainly where we're at, we'll gain at least a level getting down there. As we heal up our druid. Here we go. Like I said, there's all sorts of skeletons with these guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the video here, kind of make it a little bit shorter for you guys. Once I get down to the Ant Queen, I will show the path that I took, because it is fairly straightforward. Once you know the colony pretty well, it doesn't change, which is great. Because if it did change, or at least have little sections of it changing, like where the queen is, that would be it would be interesting, but it would be kind of frustrating, because the colony is so huge. And I'll show you that once we get down here. And Ignite is our best friend with this ant colony. They do not like fire. Grab that little loot there, a couple pills. Alright. I'm going to jump cut here and get down to the queen for you guys. Alrighty, guys. We are at the queen's chamber here. There's a bunch of eggs all around. And of course, there is the ant queen, some of her larvae. So the path we took to get down here, it's fairly straightforward. Is if you just stay on the eastern wall, you just kind of keep going south, it will work. You'll work your way down here. It kind of stair steps along down here, and this is a fairly long path. It took me about 20 minutes to get through here. The big issue is you'll get 2 or 3 of the warrior ants that are like back to back, so you'll have a couple of fights that are real close, and then you can heal up and rest, and then it does it again every couple of feet. So you just fight your way down here. Now this little section right here that's kind of in the center, I'll throw a little note here. Oh, keyboard not keeping up here. Now, of course, it's going to come up where I'm standing, but that is pretty much right here, where it's centered on the map. That is where there's a loot chamber there that actually is quite a bit of skeletons. You can get some pretty good stuff out of there. I did not go in that direction. I was just trying to do a very quick path into the Queen's Chamber. I did venture off out a little bit, so I know there's a couple of spots that have decent gear, so I went and grabbed those. Got a nice little dragon shield off them. I can't use it yet though, but I did get that. Now, the Ant Queen is very tricky. Is within the first couple of turns that you initiate the battle, there's going to be a whole bunch of warrior ants get summoned in, and of course some guardian ants for the Ant Queen. And it makes for a tough fight because it can be very overwhelming, especially if your back lines gets taken out pretty quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the battle formation just a little bit. And we're going to stick these guys pretty much like this. And we're going to try to, if we can, keep the back lines against the western wall, the left-hand wall, so that they don't get attacked. And we're creating a more or less a meat shield. I'll go ahead and save up there. And we're going to try to position our harder characters, or at least our harder to hit characters there, while our mage and our druid spam ignite. If all goes well, it should be a fairly drama-free battle, but I'm just saying otherwise. Now, Ant Queen, she is very squishy. She really doesn't move also. And of course, you notice there it says calls minions. You'll get to see that pretty soon. I'm going to keep everybody on their same auto tactics because not much really needs to change with them. Because this group is pretty much straightforward. Okay, so now if you notice there, our monk died. And our druid's gonna die. And that was because there's that little space between us. Now, we still killed him, but we died. And we don't want that. Because remember, this is the achievements team. We don't want any deaths. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load that back up. And let's try it again. See, we're in that exact same spot there. And somebody's going to die. There we go. I think we got it. Alright, those guys are pretty much protected. Our rangers that go out, pick up the guardians. And the queen dies. So, having Ignite makes that battle just that much easier. But the big thing is protecting your back lines. Now, you have a couple of different spawn points when you enter that battle. For us, those 2 battles that we did was having a space behind us. Now, if we're right against that back wall, that's where we want. But if not, you just try to kill the ones that pop up behind you as quick as possible. Or you can change your formation around a little bit with anticipation of that. Now, I'm going to show you that in just a second here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load this back up. And we're going to change that formation again. So instead of like this, we're going to do something similar to here. Actually, our druid is a little bit tougher. We're going to put him here. There we go. Let's do that. And let's take that fight one more time. This way it gives us that little cushion between those back spawns. See, it did the same thing. There you go. But it did not summon those ants directly behind us like it was. Because remember the other 2, we had that the 2 ants come out right behind us, take our monk and our druid that first time. We didn't do it this time, but we still defeated them. Didn't quite get a level there, but that is okay. We'll get that on the way out. But knowing that battle has those additional allies that called in on the queen side, you can anticipate that and create kind of a buffer zone and a meat shield between your casters and the healers against the ants, so you don't get your back lines taken out very well. But that is the Ant Queen achievement. Again, it is, you kind of have to prepare yourself. The big thing is the crowd control. Ignite, and also since we already did the Lich, we'll have Mana Rupture or Magic Rupture there also. That is a really good crowd control because it's hitting everything on the screen. The same way with Fireball. If you have Fireball decently leveled out, it makes for kind of short work of that. Of course, you're not going to be on auto. You're going to be able to manual cast that Fireball to kind of optimize who you're killing. You know, get the guys that are closest to you and so on and so forth. But really, that fight is about crowd control and creating that safe space for your casters so they don't get taken out. Hope this, guys, helps you with the Ant Queen. We'll continue on the achievements. We only have a handful. Actually, I don't even think we have any left for Chapter 1. So we defeated the worm. We got vampires, Acolyte, Overlord, Wisp. These are all Chapter 2. Now, I'm going to do a series. I'm not going to even call it a series. I'm going to do a Chapter 1 and a Chapter 2 video specifically for the species. So we're just kind of accumulating these as we go on right now with the achievements. And we'll hit them no matter what. But I'm going to take a separate team and do specifically these species. I'm going to do Chapter 1 species and Chapter 2 species. So be looking out for that if you guys are interested. Because you can get quite a bit of them actually here in Chapter 1. Right now it is showing 55. And I have a couple of other teams that are running at the moment that is a little higher than what this team should be. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and do a completely separate video. And of course we do have the achievements for the 0 deaths and all the arena ones, which I will completely separate. Now we're still on track for the Toucharcade achievement. Haven't broken that yet. So when we get to Chapter 2, that may be when I break it and I break down and buy something. But as for right now, that is all of the Chapter 1 achievements. We're going to go ahead and speak with the flame and get moving into Chapter 2. Once we jump into Chapter 2, we're going to just start off where we left off. And that's to beat a vampire and move on from there. Join me next time as we venture into Chapter 2 achievements. Thanks, guys. Have fun.